The paranormal surely is a part of humanity's darkest secrets. That contact with extraterrestrial life and other topics cover our society and mystery. However, there is another secret, a real one without interpretations, and one that will probably make you tremble in a much deeper way than ghosts. And the question is, what would the rest of the animals think if they were able to understand what we do to them? You don't have to be pro-animal to come up with such a reflection. We all came to the same conclusion that most likely the rest of the animals would express a lot of hatred towards our race, more than what we sometimes feel for ourselves. Unfortunately, animals do not have the intellect to speak to us and tell us how unfair everything is. That is not possible since evolution has prevented them from communicating naturally. However, our history has witnessed the birth of certain animals with amazing intelligence, animals that learned to speak and that ended up revealing the most surprising messages you have yet to hear. Prepare yourself because this video is full of a strange energy that will make you reflect. Today we present 3 animals that spoke and left sad messages for humanity. Number 3. In 1971, Stanford University began an investigation that would overturn our understanding of animals. Coco the gorilla was born at the San Francisco Zoo. She was adopted by Francine Patterson, who took her to college to train her in a very particular area, sign language. The goal was simply to do a linguistic experiment where she would be taught words to see if Coco could replicate them. The most skeptics believed that the animal would only replicate the gestures without truly understanding them. However, the end result was shocking. Suddenly, the gorilla began to create her own words. The doctor had taught her a sign for the word bracelet and another for a finger. One day, the gorilla stared at her trainer's hands and began to put both signs together, thus referring to the ring that the woman had on. This was the first proof that she really understood what she was saying. However, the greatest test of her intelligence would follow. Every day, the doctor read her the story of Puss in Boots. The gorilla asked her every day, until one day she combined the signs to ask the doctor to have a pet kitten. This is how Coco became very close friends with Albal, her new pet. And yes, I forgot, Coco herself gave it that name. One day, after 15 years of tender friendship, Albal was run over. The doctor had to try to tell Coco why Albal was not going to come back. Coco's reaction was devastating, so much so that she started to cry. After this situation, Coco was sad for a long time. Her mood changed when the late actor Robin Williams visited her and joked around with her. They both connected immediately, and Coco was happy every time Robin came to visit her. But perhaps the most surprising thing expressed by the gorilla was when she told her trainer her opinion on climate change. Coco related her feelings about it. Below, you will see the most impressive images of the video. Regardless of whether what she said was prepared, That does not mean that the gorilla doesn't really feel and understand. Perhaps this is a demonstration that, like us, animals can also learn to communicate. Number 2. The previous pose has never been seen. It was a clear communication between a human and animal. While surprising, what lies in this position has no precedence. It's about Alex the parrot, a small bird that managed to develop the intelligence of a 5-year-old child. A 5-year-old. This amazing animal managed to recognize numbers, objects, and colors. He could tell if one key was the same as the other, and managed nothing more and nothing less than a vocabulary of 150 words. Unlike Coco, this parrot could talk to his trainer. He would say sorry when he was wrong and ask to go back to his cage when he was tired. Vocally speaking, he expressed himself as well as a 2-year-old. Every morning when his trainer was due to leave, Alex would ask her if she would be back tomorrow. Alex's intelligence attracted so much media attention that he even participated in a program to demonstrate his understanding. However, due to lack of context, many assumed that he was well trained, when truthfully, he just answered what he felt. You may have noticed that I refer to Alex in the past tense, and it is that unfortunately, at the age of 31, he was very ill. The vet's diagnosis was brutal. Alex would not make it through the night. That is how, despite being a unique animal, Alex ceased to exist that day, but not before saying goodbye to the person he loved the most, and the person who loved him the most, his trainer. As she caressed him through tears, the parrot uttered words he had never said before. "Be good," he said. "I love you." Those were his penultimate words, before asking if she would be back tomorrow. The trainer published a book in honor of Alex, and it concludes that from a scientific point of view, Alex taught us that the minds of other living things are much like human minds, more than we were willing to admit. And how can we not be if we are created from the same elements? Number 1. The amazing animal that occupies this place was born in Atlanta, United States. Unlike the previous 2 positions, this orangutan did not have a trainer, but rather a father. Shantek was raised as a human under the care of an anthropologist from Tennessee, who taught him sign language. But not only that, Shantek also learned to go to the bathroom, make his bed, and go home from college without getting lost. He spent his entire life with humans. However, unlike the other 2 cases, it was decided to reintegrate Shantek with his own kind. That is, with other orangutans. However, no one ever imagined what was about to happen. During the first few minutes that Shantek spent with other orangutans, he immediately felt uncomfortable and demonstrated it in sign language, saying that he did not want to be there and that he missed his keeper. The words he used were, The case of Shantek has greatly helped the scientific community to understand more about the communication of these animals and how they manage to express their feelings. It's said that this is not widely talked about on television, but at least you will see it here, so that you can convince yourself once and for all that all animals, including us, have the ability to open their intelligence to unimaginable levels. Netflix recently published a documentary called My Octopus Teacher. If you have not seen it, I recommend that you do so. There, you will see once again that our minds are not so different from those of other animals. We just have a different, more complex intelligence, but still valuable. When I find out about things like this, I wonder how we can be so selfish as to think that our mind is the only one worth studying, and the only one capable of thinking about expressing what it feels. Maybe animals like these cannot communicate well, but inside their minds, there are routines, there are games, there are things that they love to do. And if you just pay attention, you will see that they are trying to communicate with you all the time. You just have to learn to listen.